the last fifth of the congresses we are organizing. And we know that the biggest happiness in the world is health, and our ancestors also expressed it, and we understand them much more better recently. The new wave of the pandemic has affected the whole world as well as our country. Therefore, it is important to reduce the human mobilization as much as possible and take additional measures to curb the further spread of the virus. And we expect our nation to abide by the three rules we underline: wearing face masks, social distancing, and hygiene. And if we comply with the rules, hopefully in a couple of weeks the surge of this pandemic will start to be curbed, and the rates will fall down. And we might even feel the need to take further measures. The big changes and also shifts of power in the world we observe take place after such big crises mostly. Therefore, it's important to overcome this difficulty with the least negative impact and as fastly as possible. Over the past 18 years in democracy and economy, we have claimed many advantages, brought many advantages to our country, and we will use all these advantages as the driving force for further improvement. During the pandemic, with new hospitals, infrastructure, and healthcare professionals, we have established a very strong structure, and we have seen altogether how vital all these were. From education to transportation, from energy to industry, in all fields we have made similar investments and prepared our country for such days we are experiencing. Over a certain period of time, the consecutive attacks we have been exposed to and the traps laid in front of us had the purpose of containing us into the Anatolia only. With our nation, we have taken on the biggest struggle with our nation with and on top of our independence war, we have disappointed all these plans. We have held more tightly on our calls for prayer, our civilization, our history, our culture, our flag, our nation, and also our rights, which many tried to make us forget. We have held them more strongly with our own people, own nation, and also with all the friends who have their hopes set on us. And with their prayers and good wishes, we have made all this way to our day. Our politics, diplomacy, as long as we reflected onto the field, of course, the scope of the attacks have magnified against us. As done before, some used their stooge within and outside the country through threats, blackmail, and threatening. Many tried and attempted to take us hostage, but we frustrated them all. And we have walked over and towards these people rather than taking steps backwards in the face of their attacks. First, the law enforcement and the jurisdiction, and also from the military, some tried to make a coup, and in the face of this attempt, we again held more tightly on our democracy. Through terrorist organizations, they wanted to harass our borders and dig trenches, but we crushed them. There were some who tried to also make the politics fall victim, but with our presidential system, we made a historic amendment. In Iraq and Syria, some tried and attempted to create structures that would be hit right into into the heart of our people as a dagger, but we frustrated them and taken steps to prevent and avert all these plans and threats. And some hoped that we would be crushed under this wave of a pandemic that many countries failed to contain. But on the contrary, we have created an atmosphere, a climate of struggle that reached out to all. And no matter what we do, we have never given up on our decisiveness of change and also struggle. And this process will be carried even forward with new movements in democracy and law. And so far, we have always expected the help of God, and we have always relied on our people. We have walked on the path, on the right path we believe was right, and have never diverged from our path. And in every struggle we have taken on, we have had the people standing with us. The fact that AK Parti has always preserved its position in the hearts of our people is related with the sincere words, sincere promises we have delivered. We were sincere. We have been sincere in all the projects we have undertaken. As we defended all interests of our country in the region and in the world, we have always been sincere. In every struggle we have taken on for the existence of our country, we were and we have always been sincere to ensure the security, the safety of our people, to increase the level of welfare for our people. We were sincere. We were sincere when we established the People's Alliance. All these tests we successfully passed, and we were walking under the roof of a People's Alliance to this day. And under the roof of a People's Alliance, we have been running all these activities and taking such steps forward. When it comes to the interests of our people and our country, we go beyond all personal and political differences, and we are very happy about the course of the People's Alliance that goes beyond that. I would like to thank to Mr. Bahçeli and all MHP ranks for their support in terms of the executive presidential system, and also for all the issues that concerned the interests of our country and our people. I once again would like to extend my gratitude to them, and hopefully we will have many more policies and many works to undertake together. Recently, there were certain individual statements made. None of them were relevant to us, and some are trying once again to light a fire of dissension and unrest. Again, even though we worked with some in the past, the personal statements of certain people are not related, are not relevant to our system, to the presidential system, are not related with us and our party. Our course, our trajectory is clear, is obvious, and there's not even a single change in our course. Those who were engaged in terrorism, who walked hand in hand, arm in arm with terrorists, have never taken side with us, and we can never be in contact with them anyhow. There are some who are under the design of the judicial system, and there are some who caused the death of hundreds of our people. The perpetrators of the Kobani disaster, they have never been supported and can never be supported by Recep Tayyip Erdoğan and the ranks of AK Parti. Those people who follow the route steered by CHP should turn to themselves and also deal with their own dark bargaining and leave our country and our people alone. There are some who go outside our country and make complaints about our own own country to the administrators or the rulers of other countries. And there are some who try to give us ideas, and there are some who deny what they said yesterday, today, and they will be doomed. And we have never been, and we can never be the defender of Gezi protests or certain protests similar to that, as in the past, today as well, and tomorrow as well. We will continue on our march by being servants to our people. In particular, those who financed the Gezi protests, and again, those who are detained related with those issues can never, tomorrow or today, be defended by our party. We can and we have never defended or spoke for their favor. Maybe as the ruling party we have had certain shortcomings in the past, maybe even some mistakes, but our sincerity, our services, our vision can never be questioned by anyone, and no one can claim the otherwise. If your trajectory is right on spot, it is always possible to tackle your shortcomings. And today, with all sincerity, we are looking for the remedy to come from our people. Any kind of dissension or unrest is gravely rejected, refused, and I ask you to be all cautious. The people who walk from Ankara to Istanbul shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand, arm in arm, can never take side with us. The financiers of Gezi protests, or people like Kavala, we can never be together with them, and we cannot forget Kobani. This goes the same for Diyarbakir, our brothers and sisters, Kurdish brothers and sisters in Diyarbakir, and the murderers of them. We can never be with them. Those people who try to defend them by using rhetorics of jurisdiction or law should very well know that AK Party has never defended or stood with such people in the past and will never do so. AK Party is standing with brothers such as Yasin Buru, who was murdered in Diyarbakir. We will stand with such people. For thousands of years, we have kept our ties with the East strong and always turned our faces towards the West as well. We have always been the representative of equity, justice, and fairness throughout the history, and made our traces obvious to see across a large geography. There is no discrimination among our people, regardless of their origins or ethnicity. We have never regarded people in terms of them being Kurdish, Laz, or Abaza, or Arab, or whatsoever. We are Turkish. We are together, and we all together are Turkish. Even the Ottoman state had a history of 6 centuries across the world in Europe, let alone Turkey. And we always consider ourselves as a part of Europe, and we have always been one of the most relied and trusted ally of NATO. From defense to commerce to trade, we have always made our choices in favor of Europe, but there are some attacks that our country are exposed, and also certain double standards put in front of us. But this doesn't mean that we will yield for such attacks or double standards or whatsoever just because we have turned our faces towards Europe. And we believe there's no problem we cannot solve through negotiation or dialogue. From a full accession to the EU to the solutions or the issues related with refugees, we ask the EU to keep their promises, deliver on their promises, stand close to our country, and also construct cooperation. This goes the same for our ally, the USA, and the relations we have with the country. The needs of Turkey for its defense and a U.S. that respects the sensitivity of Turkey can make a lot of things possible with Turkey regionally and globally. Russia, Turkic countries, Gulf countries, and many other countries, primarily, especially, and of course, with the whole Asia and African geography, we believe we have a lot to do. And this is such a large geography, but there are some who try to corner Turkey, disregarding such a big history and geography of influence we have. We ask them to stop their tactics. We have no eye on the rights or interests or territorial integrity of anyone. On the contrary, wherever we are present, we act in line and within the framework of all these principles. But those who stand against us are either related with the terrorist organizations or coup makers or the persecutors or tyrant regimes. There are some whose history is full of shame and disgrace, but today they have some efforts to run their similar activities, be engaged in such activities under disguise. And if it's a crime to reveal the truth, then yes, it's a crime. But we are only here to make the voices of the oppressed and downtrodden heard. And if this is a crime, yes, we are criminals to ensure that they are vocal, the oppressed, the aggrieved, because we want freedom, welfare, and a bright future for everyone. And if asking so is a crime, yes, then we are criminals. But for us, acting in such a fashion is a necessity, is a responsibility that comes on our shoulders related with our past and civilization. We can never turn away from this responsibility, no matter what people says, or we have never refrained from that, and we will never do so. From the chair of the PARTİ to the representatives, to the administrators at the local ranks, all our local governors and administrators have such a responsibility to take. And our nation, every time, in every chance, portrays once again that they have their hopes set on PARTİ. And the great interest towards our campaign for membership shows that our nation shares the same feelings with us. And the number of our members, thanks be to God, has now been standing at a record figure of 11.2 million. And every passing day, we further strengthen the bonds we have with our people, and we have a target to take it even way forward. And our congresses in this new, of course, era will be the milestones. We will be paying the due attention and care for Pacta Sunt Servanda, but on the other hand, we will further strengthen our organizational structure with new targets, new goals set, and new organizations and events to be carried out. And we prepare ourselves for this new era to come, and we will leave a country where they will have the chance, a great country where they will have the chance to materialize our 2023 and 2053 goals. And you are the people who will ensure that, who will put that in reality. And now I take a look at the whole, but quite not see the sufficient level of enthusiasm. In the past, people would uproar with their applauses, if you will. in our previous congresses. This would be the same for Sparta. And consequently, it is important to see that joy every single minute and every time, and we expect to experience that joy. And I want to see my brothers and sisters from Kastamonu and Sinop feeling the same overjoy. And using this opportunity, I would like to extend my gratitude to all friends who have taken roles in our ranks and organizational structure. I pray for the mercy of God on those who passed away. I would like to wish for the best of success to my brothers and sisters who will take roles, assume responsibility in PARTİ organization, as PARTİ, as the assembly. We have now entered into an era when, during which we will have to work even harder and harder. And you, as the representatives of this new era, will be the drivers of this whole process. May God make us succeed in that and keep our path clear. So with all these thoughts in mind, I would like to once again thank all my brothers and sisters who will take role in our Isparta, Burdur, Gümüşhane, Kastamonu, and Sinop provincial congresses. I share my love and respect with each and every one of you. Thank you. Stay in health.